This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel, where we talk about professional wrestling both in the mainstream and the independent scene. My name's Matty Jay. That is TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm TWK Reviews, and I'm here to entertain you! And are you ready?
No, he's not excited about tonight's show. Not at all. No, not hyped at all. No way. You are the least excited person about tonight's show. Actually,
No.
you probably are the least excited because there's some people in this chat who are excited for this program this evening.
Good. At least someone is.
TW Cassidy over there, obviously. How you doing, TW? You doing good? Yeah. Long week?
Yep.
He's got his Orange Cassidy sunglasses on, obviously. Yep. Good show, big show tonight. Obviously, full gear this weekend. I made my purchase for the pay-per-view. I don't know about you folks at home. See, so this year, we in the pandemic era of this show, I didn't buy Double or Nothing. Turned out to be a banger. About All Out turns out by no fault of anyone's, really. It was just a rough night at the office. Dud. I've already pre-ordered the pay-per-view. I am ready to watch it live this weekend. And holy shit, if this card does not deliver, something is wrong with All Elite Wrestling. Truly wrong. But we'll get to the main card in our third segment, as we are one to do, of course. We have some news, some stuff and things. We may have some time for some Q&A, so always give us some Q&A if we have time. We'll ask for some Qs. If you have some Qs, we will definitely have some A's, right, T-Dub?
That is correct!
It's like writing the audio on this guy. My God. He's either super quiet or louder than hail.
You will never get the audio. You'll never get my audio levels correct.
That's why you write your own audio. Phrasing, boom, boom, Matty's out. Let's move on. This week, folks, was not easy on the clip department. Not because of lack of quality promos. Oh, no. I had to call. I broke a couple of my fundamental. They don't have fundamental rules when it comes to that shit, but there's so many of it. I couldn't choose. Dynamite, why'd you have to? Why do you have to? Then again, it's a go-home show. You got to hype up the crap. But Jesus Christ, you could have thrown in a dud. Outside of the women's match that you put at 9:30 because obligations, quote unquote, and I am throwing the air quotes up right now. But they had some quality shit this week. Seriously. So we start the two bigums, or at least the two biggest ones I could think of. They're gonna open up our segment for full gear, but I could not ignore the first two pieces of quality verbal business, and we begin with Chris Jericho opening up Dynamite. Take a listen.
Undefeated in MMA. Look at the size of this man. Look at the battle scars.
Chris. I hate to cut you off, I really do, even though I'm going to, let's face it. Last week, I kind of felt like we had a little bit of tension, and I really don't want that for us, man. I really appreciate this friendship we got going on, but I'm glad you're going to be out there doing commentary tonight, man, because you are going to get a front row seat to see that I do belong in the inner circle.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Max. I've been thinking about what you said last week, and you do check a lot of boxes, but there's something missing from your total package. Once again, look at Hager. 2 black eyes, 15 stitches, still won his fight. Look at Santana, tough as nails. Both of them got the killer instinct. All 3 of us crazy in the head, willing to do anything to win. I don't think you have that, Max. You don't have that killer instinct. You don't. As a matter of fact, I kind of think you're a little bit soft.
Where's your little British friend? I'm here for you guys! We're here for you!
You see, the funny thing about isolation, you've got nobody to play with. 7 months! 7 months! Done! The far side of the Atlantic. Yet again, a casualty of this rotten world. But don't you worry about little old me. I've been here before. Lost. Abandoned. They wanted me to crumble. Every day that passes, I get better. And stronger. And faster. And more obsessed. Lads, I see everything.
All right, let's unpack that for a second, shall we? Obviously, MJF and Y2J, they're doing what they got to do to build up their match at Full Gear. And at this point, good job, boys. Job done. We're hyped.
Hype!
Thank you. T-Dub, let's talk about Pac for a minute. Before
Yeah, it looks like Pac might be on his way back. Maybe perhaps in the future.
It's definitely a message of, hey, it's like you said, don't worry about me. I'm here. I'm good. I'm just waiting for this damn world to open up so I can whoop all of the asses. Is anyone in this room interested in a fight between Pac and Eddie Kingston? I know I am.
Give me that match. Give me that match right now.
Yeah. That's a... Promos alone could be like, ooh, shit, that's 2022 feud of the year if you're not careful.
So
JC,
far from what I've discovered doing my research on Pac's status is that probably the biggest problem is not just so much him flying to the United States, but the whole having to wait 2 weeks before he could fly back home.
Yeah, there's a whole thing of 2 weeks isolation just to board the plane to get home. And then, depending on where you fly, you got to quarantine for 2 more weeks. So that's 4 months gone if you just want to do the back and forth thing. He can do it. He could definitely do it, but it's questionable. It's one of those cases where, is it worth the money? And right now, obviously, it isn't. Which is unfortunate because I do want to see Eddie Kingston versus Pac. Sometime in the near future, please. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, Pac is going to hurt you for constantly mispronouncing his name.
Pac. You know what? I'll let Eddie Kingston fuck up his name.
You want to make him even more miserable, especially towards you, sir?
Dude, I've been living in this friggin' thing for 7 months, same as that dude. I do not care. Also, you've been misspelling his name too, dude.
I have not been mispronouncing it.
At this point, we're in line for a miserable bastard beating anyway, and at this point, I'm pretty much happy to skip the line at this point. Go home.
Fine, you go right ahead. Go right ahead, get your ass kicked. I'll be right there, right behind you, with the video camera ready.
Ow. 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 Dave!
Worth it!
Not a record, but whatever. JC calling it now. Pac is is back by the time Kenny becomes champ. He's going to be Kenny's first challenger for the title. Well, maybe.
He does have a victory over Kenny about a year ago.
He does. If you want to have him skip the line, maybe. Storyline makes sense.
They could easily have him go on a winning streak for about a month to build up contendership.
There's that too. And let's see what else. Well, you know what? Let's continue. I know you got a list of stuff to talk about.
Oh yes, always yes. Every week I've got a list, and I check it twice. First up here is something we were supposed to talk about last week, and that's the fact that on AEW Dark last week we saw what should have been the main event: Peter Avalon versus Brandon Cutler in a match that has been built up for months and months and months and months, and a victory that's been built up for over a year. That's right, Brandon Cutler finally got his first victory in All Elite Wrestling.
Yay! I watched that match. Good Lord.
It was a pretty hardcore match for something that was just on Dark.
Yeah. But you know what? Kudos to both gentlemen. They knocked it out of the park.
And now Leva Bates is a babyface.
Yay! And Avalon is now a heel again. Yay! He works better as a heel anyway.
That he does. And he is now the only man without a victory in All Elite Wrestling. Which makes Peter Avalon the loser!
What does that make him? What does that make him?
Loser! Loser!
Loser! Loser! He's a loser! Loser! We need to make that a button.
Still not as much of a loser as Sonata.
No. Look. Sonata's won some matches, dude. Unlike Avalon. You know who's a bigger loser?
Time?
You know who's a bigger loser than Avalon? Yoshihashi.
Yoshihashi has a belt around his waist.
Tell that to Shin Tiger Curl.
Wish he could be here tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd love to be on the show. He didn't ask, so you know what? Next week, let's see if he wants to be on.
Okay, all right. Next up, we have looks like Tony Khan, according to an interview earlier this week, says that he's going to be tightening up the whole indie wrestling thing, letting wrestlers do indie wrestling shows due to whole COVID situation.
Yeah, let's be honest. Mox got real lucky to get out of the collective without a positive test. And then we all know what a I want to call it a complete shit show because it was still a good show, but it's just proof that right now wrestling, if it's not outdoors, it ain't worth pulling off.
No, it seems it's a very, 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 very risky venture if you're doing a show indoors.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Khan essentially said that they need to look him. His exact words were something along the lines of they need to look at him in the eye and tell him that this is an important match worth doing. And he understands, about the importance of them wanting to get the reps in, trying to get some extra money and all that. But right now, it's, they have to make sure that it is worth doing if it's going to be risking them missing AEW dates.
Let's put it this way. Fighting Back, they didn't do a show, and this will be something that will be brought up a little later. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But they just did a series of fundraisers, and they rose a shitload of money that way. They didn't even risk doing a show. So that should tell you how serious this pandemic is. And I'm fairly certain if the C4 people and pretty much the entirety of Ottawa's indie wrestling scene came together and says, can we pull this off safely? And if the answer was yes, I'm fairly certain Uno and Grayson would have said, hey, we got to go back. We're going to raise a shitload of money. And that situation, it probably would have worked.
Yeah.
But no, it's understandable. I understand Tony Khan completely.
Yeah, this is something that's sort of been kind of inevitable when you constantly see these COVID outbreaks at these indie wrestling shows. I was like, you got to think it's only a matter of time before he starts to tighten things up a bit. He's not putting the kibosh on it, but it's gonna be very limited now. Very limited.
At this point, it's more safety and just covering the ass, just to make sure we have bodies to put on TV on a weekly basis, and that's just a safe bet at this point. Look, T-Dub and I are supporters of independent wrestling. I mean, it's obvious. It'll be that we got the Vanguard Championship Wrestling logo and C4 Wrestling. That's our two home promotions. But right now, I don't want to go to an indie show. Not because I don't want to support it, just because I don't fucking feel safe going outside for other than groceries and nothing. Hell, I am literally a bus ride away from my favorite video game store. Beautiful, it's a wonderful place next to a mall. It's in like a side strip mall. It's a retro game store. That's where I got a few games, including my complete inbox of VR Troopers for the Sega Genesis, by the way.
I still can't believe they made a video game out of that.
It's hard as balls. It is hard as balls. Plus, it was in that boom period. It was during that MMPR boom period. So yeah.
Is there a video game based on tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills?
Thank fuck no.
Somebody make a fan game.
Cheetah. Here, I'm not going to dave you for trying to troll me on tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. I'm one of those people that agrees that we should preserve history so people don't repeat the bullshit. But in the other room, you're liable to be murdered.
It's a good thing I'm not on Toku Riffs Live then.
No. Bring up that in front of the Shades, he will dave you incessantly. With a steel chair.
All right, next on the list, some good news. It was announced earlier in the morning this happened, and then Cody, after the AEW Dynamite went off the air, cut a little promo saying that he got his Rhodes back.
Yeah, so WWE, they fought, they cajoled, they screamed, they cajoled, they bitched, they moaned. No, not the guy trying to say stop the count. We're not going to pull that shit. No. We're talking about WWE now. And they said, no, that we want to keep the Rhodes name. We're going to keep the name. And then they dropped it. They said no complaints, no objections. And the trademark, the rights thing, whatever it is, expired. And Cody is allowed, and he's got his name. He's got his trademark. He's cool.
Even though he did say in a later interview that he's still just going to go by Cody because he likes the way the name is pronounced. The American Nightmare, Cody! That whole gimmick.
Yeah, of course. But as opposed to the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But you know what? I get the feeling it's not the cadence of the announcement. It's been his trademark ever since he left the Fed.
Also, he hasn't gone by Cody Rhodes since 2013, before he was Stardust.
Yeah.
That's 7 years. Holy shit. It's been 7 years since we've seen him wrestle as Cody Rhodes. That's kind of insane.
You know what? It's good to know that at the very least, people could say it's Cody Rhodes and just he goes by Cody, but now you could say Cody Rhodes without going that, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. No, you're cool. You could actually say Cody Rhodes now.
Yeah, now the announcers on commentary can actually say that name without it feeling a little cringe where they're like, oh, wait, what, stop, the lawyers, they're on the phones.
And unlike Jim Ross, who calls Jungle Boy Jungle Jack Perry.
That's Jungle Jack, by God. It's Jungle Jack.
You can actually call Cody Rhodes. So there's that, which is awesome. Yeah, no, he's going to use it for outside projects, and if there's a season 2 of the Go Big Show thing, you could say, no, you can call me Cody Rhodes. The one on TBS, not on Netflix, by the way.
The one that got canceled?
Oh, wait. Oh, shit, that's right. Big Show. Oh, God. Poor guy. That was actually halfway decent in the corny department. I'm sad it got canceled. It was fine.
You know what doesn't suck?
What?
AEW's new YouTube channel, which is all about AEW games, which, as many people are thinking in their head, it's going to be the video game announcement this Tuesday. It's happening.
T-Dub's not hype. He's cautiously optimistic. When it turns out to be the video game, do not be surprised if Rift Down is just him screaming into his mic full of hype.
Actually, Rift Zone will not be happening this week because I'll be recording footage for the upcoming Yakuza review. Because that game drops Tuesday. Now I'll just be spending pretty much the whole week just recording footage.
You're a busy boy.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am.
But yeah, the YouTube channel was released. I'm subscribed to it. So at this point, we are waiting with bated breath to see what they are doing.
The most important question to ask is who's making the game, who's publishing it, and what is it going to look like?
So yeah, next week when we talk about the news, you damn well bet your ass if there's video game news, T-Dub will be on that like white on rice.
That I will. Oh wait, even though I'm going to have a bit of a busy schedule next week, someone who is not going to be all that too busy is The Undertaker, because after Survivor Series, that's it! It's done! Finito!
That's it.
Officially.
They are officially saying this is his final farewell. This is his 30th anniversary, or that they're claiming it's at the 30th anniversary. It's not, but I don't think it is. 1990?
Yeah, well, this is the show 30 years after his debut.
Yeah. So he's going to show up. I don't know what it'll be, a retirement ceremony, I'm assuming. They're probably going to say he's in the Hall of Fame, something like that. We don't know.
In the Hall of Fame, fame.
Chibba, 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 Hall of Fame, fame. Anyway, so yeah, they announced that for Survivor Series. Beyond that, we don't know. What I just said, it's speculation, obviously, but I think unless they do a run-in or an angle, no, that's it.
I think it is fitting that he ends his career at Survivor Series because it is a show where he debuted.
It only makes sense.
Well, he did inevitably make his legacy at WrestleMania. Survivor Series is where it started, so it makes sense that this is where it ends. And it's just kind of
apropos. It's nice. It's a poetic ending, and if there's anyone that deserves a wonderful poetic-like ending, it is The Undertaker.
And it's so strange that it's finally happening because how many years have we been doing this where every year felt like the final year of The Undertaker's career?
I know. And earlier this year, we thought, oh, this might actually be it. Like we were speculating, how much better can you go on? How much better on a high note could you go without the wrestling ring? And that Boneyard match was damn near perfection.
Yeah, and even beyond that, going all the way back to like WrestleMania 28 when he had the end of an era match with The Undertaker, most people thought that was his last match.
That should have been it.
And then when he lost to Brock Lesnar, most people were like, oh, clearly he lost because he's retiring. except he didn't.
He didn't.
And then we lost to Roman Reigns 2 years later. People thought, oh, that must have been his retirement.
And then in the docuseries, he said, listen, the intention was, okay, I'm done, but the match was garbage even by his standards, and we knew it was like, oh shit. Is it really done? And then he had a couple matches, and then the Saudi Arabia bullshit happened. And
yeah, where pretty much everyone got injured.
Everyone got hurt in that, you know. Bill Goldberg happened, and he was having those doubts. He had a 6-man. He thought, okay, I'm good. And then AJ Styles went, hey, you want to do one more match with me? He said, yes. They had the Boneyard match. Is it what they both wanted? No, but is it? I'm pretty sure both are extremely satisfied with what they got. So at this point,
it is definitely better than a lot of his quote unquote final matches.
So yeah, you know what? If I'm in his position, and God, if I were in that position, Michelle McCool. Moving on. And yes, I did slap myself.
Someone else who is going to be leaving wrestling is, unfortunately, Kylie Rae.
Yeah, so this is a follow-up from a couple weeks ago with Bound for Glory. She no-showed, did Kylie Rae. She was replaced by Sue Young. And she has a Patreon. She literally announced this, that she is, well, we're not going to go verbatim, but she said she was feeling unwell. She felt uncomfortable, and she said, I'm done. I'm no longer a professional wrestler.
And the one positive is that everyone in the wrestling world just poured out their support for her because everyone loved working with her. She was just a complete force of positive energy. It's not just a character that apparently was who she was. And it just makes me sad because people like me and Bobber, and I believe Card Junkie as well, have been following her essentially since her wrestling debut in Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, this is one of those that was followed, and she had amazing success in it anywhere she went. And I don't know, maybe that was what happened with her last year with AEW. That probably got played a little bit into it, and obviously what happened last week. I mean, at this point, no one is forced to be a professional wrestler if they don't want to be that. And obviously, she's chosen a different path. The only thing we could say here is we're sorry to see you leave, but whenever you feel up to it, come on back. We will welcome you with open arms. And this is sincere. We do wish you luck in your future endeavors.
Indeed, and apparently Impact and AEW both feel the same way, which is great to hear.
Yeah, I mean, she shows up. She's you can feel her positivity radiating. You can't help but feel good watching her wrestle. That's how positive she is. So that's how good she was, if not in character, but just in the person. So it is a loss, but it is absolutely understandable.
Yeah, and she's basically the type of babyface that promoters would murder people to have.
She is Bayley, if untouched by WWE. Good.
Yeah, because
that positive attitude.
Rare. It is so rare in this day and age to find someone who's just a pure babyface without needing to have some sort of hardcore edge to them.
She is that pure babyface.
Like every other babyface has some level of edge to them, but she doesn't. She's just Kylie Rae, and she just smiles a lot, and people just gravitate towards her because of it. And it was so great, and I'm so sad to lose someone in the wrestling world like that. But I'm glad that she's working on her own self. She's going to better herself, and she's going to continue with whatever's going to make her happy. And as I said, I do wish her all the best in whatever endeavors she pursues.
Sorry to see you go, but the door's still open if you want. I think that's just the best way to put it right there.
Next up in championship news, your winner and the new Ring of Honor Pure Champion, the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham.
All right, hands in the air if you were surprised by that result. To put your damn hand down, you're lying.
Yeah, people can go back whenever episode. I've been saying this ever since the tournament was announced. He was my pick to win.
Yeah, and I watched that tournament. I just happened to watch that tournament. That was a wonderful tournament.
Yeah, and like I said, Jonathan Gresham, best technical wrestler in the whole company. And he 100% deserves to have the championship that defines pure technical ability.
And the presentation that Ring of Honor brought to those matches, keep it. It's worth its weight in gold right now. And congratulations to Jonathan Gresham, a worthy first champion or revived championship. Yeah, that.
Apparently, this was taped all the way back in August.
You know what? They probably said, hey, you know what? We have minimal crew. We have a couple places. Everyone's outdoors. It's warm. Let's shoot 2 to 3 months worth of wrestling.
That's like the old school Impact style.
That's what Impact still does. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell what is taped and what isn't taped like months ahead of time when it's presented without an audience.
Yeah. Which is great because you could have a shitload of wrestling in the can.
And everyone else can just, do their stuff and then go home and relax until the next set of tapings.
And stay healthy.
That's always good.
Yeah.
This does bring me to one nagging thing when it comes to Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over the current championship situation. They have the ROH World title, the World Tag Team titles, the World Television title, the World Six-Man Tag Team titles, the Pure title, and yet they still haven't found time to crown a new women's champion.
How about that shit?
They deactivated their Women of Honor Championship on January 1st of this year. Where the year's almost over, still no new women's champion. What is happening? It's not like they don't have women. They signed new.
T-Dub, I'm willing to bet that under normal circumstances, before the pandemic, they probably would have either found the way to get a new women's or new women for the division, or just say screw it. It was a failure. Let's move on. I know it's unfortunate, but here's the thing. If you can't do a women's division, why would you do a women's division?
As far as I can tell right now, they still have a new ROH Women's Championship. It's still TBD, and it's just like, you had the time to set up a tournament for the Pure title, but not the women's title?
Here's the thing. How many women do you think are available in their women's roster right now? Or who are willing to travel in this pandemic? Look, at this point, I'm not going to argue if they're going to, like I said, but here's the thing. AEW, I don't know if AEW was doing this because they wanted to sincerely start a women's division, or they were just trying to play up to the women's to the women audience. But for whatever reason, it's been an afterthought. I would rather have a promotion without a women's champion or women's division and still promote a proper wrestling than have a wrestling company that has a women's division that they treat it like it's the year 2000s, minus the skimpy entire and shitty wrestling. I would rather not have a women's division at all than have a women's division, but it's an afterthought. And if Ring of Honor doesn't want to bring the Women of Honor Championship back, at least in 2020, let them. When it is safe to do a women's division, then we could bitch about it. I'm not saying it's a bad point. I'm just saying, look, do they have enough women to do a women's division proper right now?
I'm on the page
and
right now.
That's the big question.
I'm looking at the active women's roster. First up, we have Amy Rose, Angelina Love. Let's see, guys, scroll up to the next page.
But any of them available on the regular basis, or at the very least long enough that they could do 2 to 3 months of taping concurrently without injury, without anything? And if the answer is no, then why would you advertise it? Right now, they're obviously not advertising it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, look, if no one's available, then why would you plug it? Or why would you make a big focus of it?
Wow, their women's division is practically non-existent as is. Jesus Christ, this company's terrible with women.
Look.
This is the worst women's company in the world.
D-Dub, if they don't have the women, why would you plug it? They don't have the women, and obviously no one's going to come to Ring of Honor to sign a contract right now. Why would you plug it? And yes, it sucks they don't have a women's division or a women's champion, but here, right now, their hands are tied behind their goddamn back. Yes, they have. Yeah, but here's the thing, and they have the time and the resources to pull a tournament like the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. But you saw their roster; they don't have anything. If they don't have anyone under contract, even if they could do what AEW did and just bring in some indie wrestlers, is it safe? And if they don't think it's safe, like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, look,
it's apparently setting up for their other belts, like to have all their other people there. So I don't see like how it would be safe for one and not the other.
At this point, it's you know, are the women available? And if they say no, I'd rather stay home and stay safe, then at this point, what's the fucking problem?
I just can't believe they have all these other belts for their men's division, and then for the women, it's nothing. It's like, whoa, just it's a really bad visual.
You know what? My answer to that is very simple. It's the same thing for AEW. Get a women's division first, then we'll talk. Then, you know, AEW barely has a women's division, or if they do, they show it on Dark and barely show it on Dynamite. You may as well not have a women's division, which makes it even worse than what Ring of Honor has. They don't have a women's division, literally. They have 2 or 3 people on contract.
Yeah, they have like 5 women in their division, which is
that's not
so
enough.
bad.
That's not enough.
Yeah, it's so bad. Oh, Ring of Honor's looking so bad right now. Jesus Christ.
You just brought that up just so you could shit on Ring of Honor a little bit, haven't you?
No, I just looked at them and I was like, okay, let's see what's going on with their women's division. And I just noticed that it's still non-existent after all these months. I'm like, oh my God, you had all this time. You could have planned.
Yeah, all this time, but 5 women, and I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 of them just went, no, I'm going to stay home and stay safe. If you only have 3 women to do a thing, what the fuck do you do for 3 months? I don't give a shit.
More.
Sign more. Are people willing and able to do that? And I'm pretty sure there's enough women that are willing to travel. I'm sure. But right now, in this environment, if someone's... Maybe Ring of Honor just went, like, I'm not going to bother anybody to say, anyone wants to wrestle, cool, everyone else stay home, we got you under contract. Same with AEW.
They could have signed more. This is a multi-million-dollar company. There's no excuses.
You wanted to shit on Ring of Honor. That's what you wanted to do.
No, I didn't.
You do.
No.
You do.
No, this is a legitimate grievance.
Cheetah wants to shit on Ring of Honor.
No, this is a legitimate grievance, and if they don't want me shitting on them, they could easily fix their problems. Just like how AEW can fix their problems with their women's division and actually give them more TV time.
It's rare that I get to troll Cheetah up. I'm enjoying this. No, I'm like, look, at this point, it is what it is. Do they want to bring more women? Sure, why not? But at this point, again, if you don't want to do a women's division, why not? Why have one?
And why they keep signing women? Like, the women's division has always felt like an afterthought in Ring of Honor. It's always aggravated me.
Someone in that company want my equality, and that's fucking things up. My call. My bet. Anyway, next up
we have Triple Mania 28.
How will the gang fuck it up now?
Hey, they got 3 matches here. They have 3 matches announced, and they all look good.
Look, I'm not going to dispute that's bad, but every time I watch Triple Mania, I thought I was watching Botchamania. You know what I mean?
Well, let me go over the 3 matches they have announced.
Do I need to go to Vampiro farting on commentary?
Let me go over the 3 matches that are currently announced. First up, we have Arcano y Leyenda Americana taking on Terpupara y Venenoid in a tag team match to promote Marvel officially.
What?
Yeah, it's a Marvel match. Marvel licensed characters for AAA. Like I said, Aracno y Leyenda Americana taking on Terpupara y Venenoid.
So basically Captain America and Spider-Man taking on Doctor Doom and Venom?
No, taking on Thanos and Venom.
You know, in AAA, look at New Japan. When they had the tie-in, they did Tiger Mask double. One guy. And he wrestled everyone like he was just the one guy. Why complicate things? Well, then again, this is AAA. I guess, you know, the whole idea of tag matches are better. Yeah.
This is Lucha Libre. You gotta do tag matches.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this one, especially because it might actually get some eyes on some Lucha Libre, which makes me happy chappy. Next up, we have the semi-main event for the AAA Mega Campeonato. Kenny Omega defends against Laredo Kid.
Ooh. Nice. Wait. When is Triple Mania?
It's in December.
Okay. I was getting worried there. I'm like, Jesus, is Kenny going to be double booked here?
Hopefully not. And of course, in the main event, Lucha de Apuestas, hair versus hair match. Pagano versus Chessman.
Oh, shit. Hair versus hair, huh? Well, it's not mask versus mask. Those are fucking high stakes right there.
And Lucha Libre hair versus hair is high stakes.
Because hair you could grow back. Masks, you lose it, you're done. Unless there's a rule in Lucha Libre that has you got to keep your hair cut.
No, you don't have to keep your hair cut once it's shaved bald, but still, pretty big stipulation. I mean, one of the greatest matches of all time was hair versus mask. It was Los Gringos Locos versus, who was it? Octagon, I think, and, I have to look up that match now.
I just realized in that Marvel match is that Thanos dude, all he's got to do is snap his finger and it's one-on-one. Perfectly balanced. As all things should be.
That's all I thought was Octagon and El Hijo del Santo taking on, they were as La Pareja del Terror.
Aha.
You don't know, that was Art Barr and Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, okay, that's a tag team there.
Yep, from When Worlds Collide, aka one of the great wrestling shows of all time, which apparently is still not on the WWE Network. Fix that, WWE.
Because WCW sucks, pal. They got the tape. They could put it on the network for like pennies on the goddamn dollar at this point.
And not only that, but it used to be on their Classics on Demand gimmick.
Because Vince controls everything and Junior is a bitch. Moving on.
And that's all the news I have this week.
Really? Well, folks, we got time for only 2 viewers, though? Shit.
Yeah, this is lower than usual.
Yeah, well, we got some people in there. We got some people in there. Q&A time. So we're gonna throw it to you folks. Q&A if you want to send us a question for us to read while we wait for other questions in our chat room to pop up. The Wrestle-Cast@gmail.com is where you can send them, of course. Anyone? Bueller?
In a few minutes, let them type it out.
Oh, JC. Yeah, we could start with that. Best feud AEW has had so far. I mean, outside of Mox and Kingston.
I think the Darby Allin Cody feud's been pretty good.
So far, so good, yeah.
But I would also say that MJF and Cody was pretty excellent.
Yeah, those were some fire promos.
Especially because they built up that one match for essentially an entire year. From the first time that MJF appeared on Being the Elite, all the way up until that match, it was about a year.
Literally. JC, I think my favorite feud is Mox versus Jericho. Yeah. Anyone else? We're live, pal. Let's do it. Oh, God damn it, T-Dub. You know you're live, right?
That's some random viewer in the chat.
TWK reviewer. Yeah, that's literally T-Dub. Right over here, he's got a microphone. My question for Matty Jay, when will you participate in your first death match? Never. I've never even taken a bump, for God's sakes. What the hell?
Really? You've never taken a bump in a ring?
Not a bump. No.
Oh, you're missing out.
I know. I should take that first bump. Haven't had the chance to do so yet. JC, best retirement match in wrestling. Ooh.
Michaels and Flair for me.
Michaels and Flair definitely comes to mind, yeah.
Like the ultimate retirement match. Ric Flair got the full pageantry with his entrance. He got the full goodbye send-out package. And then the next night on Raw, he had all the legends and all the wrestlers come out and wish him a good on his future and death.
Memories now.
Don't change your thing.
By the way, that song, I cannot listen to that anymore. They push the shit out of that song.
Yeah. Nevertheless, he got pretty much the best send-off anyone has ever and probably will ever get in pro wrestling. Like, aside from that, like, when it comes to his retirement ceremonies, Liger had a good one.
Liger had a great retirement, but he had a series of retirement matches.
He had a whole year-long tour.
Yeah, he had a retirement tour. His last two matches were at Wrestle Kingdom, and he had a hell of a time doing that. His retirement ceremony was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and Tanahashi got everyone to sing along to Liger's theme song, which is great.
You know, I've never gone to watch a Japanese retirement ceremony before, so that was like, or at least a live or close to live or tape delays, I guess you could say. But that was fun to watch, just in general.
Of course, not a dry eye in the building, and when Chris Charlton finally broke up,
I didn't cry, but I felt the feels. I don't know about you.
When Chris Charlton finally broke, like Gino Gambino was right next to him. He was like, "There you go, right on." Because you could tell Gino Gambino broke a lot earlier on.
He was just waiting for the other one to break, and he broke. It's like, it's okay. That was 2020, by the way. That was in 2020, by the way. And you will note the world has not been good since Liger retired.
And I'm honestly heartbroken that I never got to see Liger wrestle live because he is legitimately one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
I mean, I think it became one of my bucket list wrestlers when I was like, fuck, well, there he's off the list again now.
Yeah, it sucks so much. God damn, like, when I would play when I would just start playing Japanese wrestling games, like, he was the person I'd always choose to play because he was just the coolest looking motherfucker in the whole thing. So yeah, like, I'm not sure anything else can top those in my head.
Pretty much. It does seem to come down. JC does seem to come down between Michaels, Flair, and Taker Michaels. Taker Michaels is probably a solid number 2 choice, actually.
Oh yeah, that one was fantastic. Mm-hmm. I constantly go back in my head which Undertaker Michaels match I enjoy more, 25 or 26, because they're both so good for so many different reasons.
It's probably the same in the same vein of the Bayley Sasha feud from NXT. A lot of people prefer the Iron Man match, but I happen to be in the camp of if it weren't for the TakeOver Brooklyn match, you wouldn't have the Iron Man match. So I prefer the Brooklyn match. Anyway, it is what it is. It's the same thing here. It's like, Michaels Taker at 25 was a fucking classic. 26 in its own right is a classic. So there's that. And we got more questions in there, folks. Q&A.
Hello, Newman Co. If you have any questions, please submit them to the chat. Please. And Matty will try his best to answer them.
Well, you will do too. It's for both of us, really. Last chance, folks.
Oh, there's someone else in the chat. Okay, this person says, my question is for TWK Reviews. Why are you such a handsome bastard? I don't know. Genetics, baby.
It's probably the beard. Also, Dave! Stop typing your own damn questions in the chat, dude. Yeah. Anyway.
Types. just because they have a very, very,
JC says,
very
this week's busy. I'll save my questions. That's fair enough.
And we do have a couple more clips to get to, plus a pay-per-view to preview.
Yeah, and matter of fact, I think we'll just leave. Oh, actually, Newman Co. We'll finish off on that. Do you think that the 2020 is the year that Asuka and her redemption is the real storyline?
Well, they never really put much emphasis on Asuka's title reign, unfortunately.
Other than it's just that they've kept it in the length, and hey, she's still a badass. So there's that. But
let me ask the question: who has done less TV time during the title reign, Hikaru Shida or Asuka?
Ooh. Shida is at least an on-air presence, even if it's just ringside on AEW Dynamite. But ooh, it's a good question.
So you're telling me they got 3 hours and they sometimes forget to put Asuka on television, really?
She's one of their MVPs, especially during the pandemic era where her offbeat shenanigans, which we know and love, of course, that's the highlight of the show usually. Anyway.
It's just kind of strange. She got more TV time when she was just a tag champion than when she was the singles champion.
How ironic is that, by the way?
2020 makes no sense.
You're telling me. Oh, this show makes no sense. I still should be chilling right now, but goddamn Retribution. Bringing my fat ass back. Anyway. That's going to do it. Devin agreed. Cheetah gets matches on Dark now and again, at least. Very true. Does Asuka do it? Anyway, we're going to take care of business. We're done for Q&As. Again, Wrestle-Cast@gmail.com is where you send cues, some questions, all that good stuff. Anyway, more stuff. AEW Full Gear preview when we return. Do not go anywhere.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
My brothers taught me about wrestling, but I taught them about eating. So he brought us to pizza, and it's all-you-can-eat buffet. You get hot, fresh pizza, thin crust or pan. Plus, there's plenty of spaghetti, garlic toast, and a salad bar, all for a super low price. That's why I'm paying today. Kev, let me pay. I'll pay for this one. You two pay for the pizza to go. Pizza to go? I thought you were full. These are for Dad. Yeah, sure. For pizza out, it's pizza in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
At Full Gear is telling everybody that TNT doesn't want him as the face of the network. He's too reckless. That is a fiction. TNT would love to have you as its champion, Darby. Someone with your talent, they would love it. And if the circumstances were different, I would probably love it too. After all, I solely recruited you, Darby. I'm the one who floated your name to the EVPs, and they were so unsure of you. I had to wrestle you myself. Darby, take a good look. You've had a good look all night. Take one last look. You are looking at the man, the superstar who left the Empire, went to war, and actually won. And that pisses a lot of people off because the truth that I speak contradicts the lies that a lot of people live. So stop lying. You want the TNT Championship. You want to be the face of AEW. You want the Ace belt. Here's the problem, Darby. You're not the Ace.
You think this is a game, John? You think this is a game? I'm gonna destroy you Saturday. You understand that? On the 7th, I'm gonna ruin you. And I'm gonna take that championship. I'm gonna hand it to my mother. And I'm gonna tell her, Mom, the reason why you don't have a grandchild is because of this. The reason why I didn't give you a daughter-in-law is because of this. Because this is all that matters in our sport. No other championship means that much. Only this championship, and you're holding it. So I gotta take you out. I had to sell out. I had to become everything I hated. It's too late for me, John. You ain't saving nobody. And I'm taking that championship from you.
Kingston's so intense. So much history between these two men.
They say be careful who you call your friends. Me? I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, because the longer I'm in this business, the more I learn that loyalty is a bitch. And I have been burned time and again, but I never ever thought I could get burned by you, buddy. Never. I was so happy for you, man. I was so happy for you when you signed the contract. Shut up! I'm trying to tell you.
I don't care!
I'm trying to tell you what's going on.
I don't care!
I was so happy for you when you signed the contract.
You weren't happy!
I was happy for you. I was happy for your mother, whose dream it was. Yeah, your mother, Ruthie.
Don't you ever
Whose
bring up
kitchen
my
table
mother.
I sat at.
Don't you ever!
Who I said grace with. Who I made a promise to. That I would look after you. That I would always have your back. No matter what trouble you caused for yourself. I made that promise to her. And I guess I broke that promise, didn't I? See, I believe that the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. And you've been real loud lately, Eddie. Why is that? That's not you. You're not weak. So what's going on up here? I think I know what it is. After 18 years, you finally get your shot this Saturday. You get your shot, the shot you never thought you would get. Deep down in your heart, you know. Deep down in your heart, you know you're going to be in the ring with the AEW World Champion, the best wrestler on this planet right now. And you're going to lose. So it is a scary thought. I get it. Maybe after 18 years, it turns out you didn't deserve it after all. And the worst part of this, Eddie, the worst part of this, the part of this that makes me sick, that puts my stomach in knots. You made a promise to your mother that you can't keep.
Remember, Kingston can't touch Moxley no matter what he says.
Man, this is heavy. This is intense.
You're gonna have to kill me. You better get ready.
You
better get ready.
You
better get ready to kill me. You better get ready to kill me.
Did you hear that?
Better get ready.
Get ready to
you
kill
better
me.
get ready. This is real. This is real. This is real. Do it then.
I'll show you what's real
Do
and
it.
what's not.
Do it then. I don't care about this show. Do it then. Take me out. Go ahead. You ain't gonna do it. That's mine.
Back here on the Wrestle-Cast, RVT Entertainment production, Podomac.com, Spotify, YouTube, live on RVT Entertainment's Twitch.tv channel. Matty and TWK, and despite all their rage, you know, I'm not going to put him in a cage. It's an I Quit match. That's enough. Ooh. Look, this is, people are saying this is a 4-week build. You sure it's just a 4-week build? Because it felt like this is a war of 18 years.
There's definitely that. There are some matches that definitely feel like a long time coming.
Yeah, and this one, 4 to 6 week build, and this is right now contender for feud of the year, and unless something drastically changes in the next couple of months, I doubt it, specifically with WWE. But Kingston versus Mox, that promo might just win promo of the year. It's a heavy favorite. That being said, we got a pay-per-view to preview, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, Full Gear, Daly's Place, Jacksonville, Florida, November 7th, 2020. Here is the card as it is. They're not showing the main event as match number 1, so we'll have to bounce around on the wiki here. But we'll go from the pre-show. Serena Deeb defending the National Wrestling Alliance World Women's Championship against free agent Allison Kay. I say free agent because she is no longer under contract with the National Wrestling Alliance. That should be noted, I think.
Yeah, it's weird that both of these women are not signed by the NWA, yet it's an NWA title match.
Billy Corgan's letting it fly for now. I mean, he doesn't have a show. May as well, you know, if free publicity and their workers get reps in, why not?
I suppose so. I see this as a trial match for Allison Kay, and I hope that AEW signs her because, like I said,
she's a veteran presence for the women's division, and she can go, and she's a good heel promo. They could use her.
She's good as a heel. She's good as a babyface. She can work any way that they need her to work. She's fantastic.
And she worked the blood sport, and she's got skills. Orange Cassidy takes on, and the main card starts, or I don't know if it'll start, but it'll be Orange Cassidy versus John for Silver.
Cassidy's probably going to win, but I could see Silver getting some licks in.
Silver. This will be a showcase match for Silver. In this case, we probably are aware of the finish, but we want to be surprised. I think that's fair to say. Hikaru Cheetah takes on Nyla Rose. Of course, Vicky is the person in Nyla Rose's corner. I know I'm missing one, but I'm bouncing around a little bit. I have to. AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru is the token champion right now. Sorry, not sorry. It's what it is at this point. She's the belt holder, not champion at this point.
I hope Cheetah retains and then goes on to actually have a feud with someone in the coming months.
Yeah, here's an idea. How about Allison Kay?
That'd be excellent.
There you go. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in what is dubbed the Elite Deletion match. This is obviously a cinematic style match, which is probably the safe bet at this point.
And as far as I can tell, Matt Hardy is undefeated in his compound.
So, please, let this be the last one. We're already uncomfortable talking about that. But yeah, Matt Hardy took the win.
Seen, both these guys on separate occasions nearly die, so let's have them do not that.
How about please don't die? How about that?
Yeah, just don't do that because for enough scares already. As Matt, he's getting up there in his age. He doesn't need any more of those.
All right, we got to bounce around here, but we're gonna go right back down. Chris Jericho versus Maxwell Jacob Threeman with Wardlow at ringside. If MJF wins, he is allowed to join the Inner Circle. He will not join, but he will be allowed, if he so chooses, to join the Inner Circle.
I do believe that MJF will win.
Yeah, it only makes sense. I mean, continue the natural progression of the story and whatever it is. You can't, if Jericho wins, that's full stop, and there's a whole lot of juice to this particular story, and that I think you and I both want to see. There's
a lot of juice to this steak, by God.
Yipper. We had steak for supper yesterday on the grill, warm enough to get it going. Nice. And no, before you ask, they were not Omaha steaks. Yeah. See, this joke would have worked better if Shin wasn't the call. But it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, what the fuck? Cody takes on Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
I'm putting my money on Darby. It's his time.
Makes sense to me, but
he's been in like 3 or 4 different matches with Cody, and still hasn't been able to pick up the win. I think it's time for him to finally get that victory after over a year.
Makes sense. Well, I will say this: if Cody retained, I would not be surprised. Though I do agree, my pick is Darby Allin. To be fair,
come on, let's go, Darby.
Yep. Although there is this promo that Taz cut from Team Taz, and they have involvement with Darby Allin. That's where I'm thinking maybe Cody retains, but we'll see. I'm with you. If no shenanigans, no bullshit, yeah, Darby to win.
AEW seems to be the company where they save their shenanigans usually for after the match.
Yeah. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood taking on the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. If the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for said championship ever again. Tully Blanchard also is banned from ringside. Oh, I should be way more hyped for this. And a note to the AEW crew, you overthought it. You were overthinking, and it cost you.
This could still be a match of the year contender.
And it should, and I hope it is. But the build, this to me, I'm not buying Full Gear for that tag team match. And that is a major league crime considering this first time encounter.
This match has essentially been built up for the better part of 2 years.
True. But what have you done for me lately comes to mind, and they fucked up the build. Like the short-term build, like from the moment FTR debuted to now or tomorrow, they fucked up. Let's be honest here. This was not a good build. But they've tried to redeem it a little too much, and again, they were overthinking it, but with this stipulation, at least there's the ambiguity is put back in.
Because Cody lost the same stipulation last year when nobody thought Cody would lose with that stipulation. Nobody.
I'm still calling the Young Bucks to win, though.
I'm hoping to win because I think that it would be weird if, like, Kenny was the only member of the Elite to win a title, like a world title.
It would be bullshit if both the Young Bucks and Cody are not allowed to win belts in their own promotion. You know what I mean?
And Cody actually did an interview about that, saying that he did that stipulation because he doesn't want to be seen as nepotistic, essentially. He doesn't want nepotism to reign in the company, which is why he did that stipulation for himself.
And which is true, and you could say the same thing for the Young Bucks, but here's the thing. The track record with the Young Bucks ever since AEW, they've been doing nothing but building tag team after tag team after tag team. To me, a just reward for me will be, hey, have a run with the World Tag Belts. You've earned it. You've more than earned it. It just doesn't seem to be fair to say, let's put a stipulation and it sticks forever. Doesn't make sense to me.
You think that's just one bridge too far when it comes to putting people over?
Yeah. And I get it. They're sticking with their stipulations, and if they're sticking to their stipulations, I think it's unfair to the Young Bucks. Cody is smart enough to realize that there's going to be people who are going to draw comparisons to his dad, who was a booker and a wrestler at the same time. That's fair. But the Young Bucks, yes, it's their tag division, but if they were truly that nepotistic and narcissistic and all that stuff, they would still be tag team champions right now. They would be tag team champs for the rest of the time. And of course, no matter what happens, there's going to be that comparison, that knock against them. But you know what? Who cares? As just a regular old Joe Q wrestling fan, I think they've earned a tag run.
I hope they get it because they are legitimately one of the best tag teams of all time.
And honestly, Bucks winning over FTR and FTR turning up the heel heat afterwards makes more sense than just one match for the feud. That's it. After all that build, just one match? No. Can't just leave it at one and done. Bucks to win.
I would definitely agree with that. I would really hate it if they just decide, you know what, we don't need tag belts. Like, no, just for the fans, give us one. Even if it's just for like a month, give us a title run with the Bucks.
You know, if they don't want the belts for themselves, that's fair enough. But here's the thing. You've written yourself in a corner to try to overbuild this match when really all they had to do was keep it simple to what they did with the injury angles. That's it.
Those injury angles are apparently based on Matt Jackson suffering from a legitimate injury.
Which is true, and again, some fortunate / unfortunate timing. But again, you don't need to enforce another stipulation, because at this point you're going to write yourself in a corner where there's no one to put the belts on, and Cody can't be world champion, cannot be world champion. You've established that those stipulations stick. The Bucks don't need that handicap.
Oh, I will give to AEW sticking with that stipulation, because how many times has WWE done that exact same stipulation, and then less than a year later, they go against
less than a month. Less than a month in most cases nowadays.
I was trying to be a little generous.
Dude, it's Junior. You're too generous if you give him even a month.
Like, remember the whole authority gimmick where it's like, if John Cena's team wins, the authority's gone forever. And then they're
remember if
back
Cena doesn't let Wade Barrett become WWE champion, he's fired. And a month, and not even a week later, it's John Cena in a fucking mask.
Not even that. Like, he was literally already showing up in the buildings, just running around.
So you know what? Okay, kudos to AEW for sticking to those to their stipulations. Fair game, fair play, but do not, for the love of God, on our account, fuck up the Young Bucks like that. It's their build. Fair enough. They fucked up. Let them have their match and have the match of the year and have them win the tag belts. It only makes sense. If it has to be a month, let it be a month. Who cares? This stipulation, the build was bungled. The stipulation is too much. We're going to move on. Hangman Adam Page takes on Kenny Omega. This is the final of the World Championship Eliminator Tournament. Winner, of course, will receive a future championship opportunity in the World Title Division.
Also, I could see either man winning, but in my heart, I really want Kenny to win. I want him to finally ascend to that main event scene in AEW that people are waiting forever for, essentially. They want to see the cleaner. Yeah. We might just see the return of the cleaner in full, because I think, like other people have predicted, that Kenny's going to try all his best moves on Page, and he's going to kick out. Kenny's going to lose his mind right when the referee is like turned for whatever reason, or maybe there's an accidental bump. Kenny's going to have a conscience confliction, and right at the last second, he's going to do an illegal maneuver, he's going to use a weapon or whatever, and he's going to pick up the victory in a dirty, dirty way.
And I'll continue the feud between him and Adam Page in the same time. Part of me wants to see Page get the win because of his his fall. I guess you could say his continued fall. But no, I think story-wise, Kenny to win. And in 2022, you start the redemption of the Hangman, and then you put the belt on him at the end of the year. Next year. 2021, yeah. Sorry.
By the way,
see, my mind is so over 2020 that I'm already thinking 2021. Oh, yeah, 2022. Oh, wait. That next year's 2021. Sure.
By the way, props to using Cinderella on Dynamite.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know how else to put it. Wow.
And apparently they will be using more licensed music going forward, which is nice, because apparently they're going to go way outside the box when it comes to what they're going to choose, if that's anything to go by.
Thumb is up. And finally, in the main event of that particular evening, an I Quit match for the AEW Heavyweight Championship of the World. The champion is Jon Moxley. The challenger is Eddie Kingston. Violence. Expect that. Also,
I expect
Moxley to win.
Yeah, I expect Moxley to win, and this match to be brutal.
Maybe a little bit of the blood. I would not, I don't know if they're going to blade per se, but this is so personal that I almost expect it. Someone's going to get busted open hard way.
And it's two former CZW guys in what's essentially a no disqualification match.
And we've seen what Mox can do in a death match environment with a budget. See Mox versus Kenny Omega last year. Mox to retain, but this will be a war.
Ooh, this could be one hell of a thing. And one interesting thing is that they are noting that a surprise appearance might happen during this show. Who do you think that will be?
No? Not Sting?
Yes, it is Darby Allin's father, Sting.
Well, yeah, all the merch has been pulled from WWE. The report is Sting's contract is effectively done with the Fed. So, JC, though, is another good idea. Pac, a member of Team Taz, maybe. Though that wouldn't be a surprise. They've announced that they'll be making their presence felt.
It's clearly going to be above average Mike Sanders.
See, we need Shin on this show for that joke to stick. We need that.
That we do.
I'm thinking of something, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Apparently I beat JC to that joke.
Well, good. You teed up great minds think alike, right? There you go.
Indeed. I think I know who it's going to be. It's going to be the New Day sitting in the crowd.
Eating popcorn. And Austin Creed going, "Take my Twitch money, will you?"
Ha.
Oh, JC, wild card. Someone from New Japan.
Well, Cody did say the word ace.
Hey, look. Darby, Cody wins or Darby wins. Out comes Hiroshi Tanahashi from the back. Internet blows up. It can happen.
It's actually simple. First, whoever wins, wins. And then lights go out. No, even better. Team Taz comes in. They start a beatdown. Lights go out. Video flashes on the screen. Tanahashi's music is entrance theme. Lights come back up. He's in the ring. The good guys fight off the bad guys.
Ooh. Oh. Here's a wonderful scenario. Cody wins. Team Taz about to show up. Lights go out. Lights come back on. It's Lance Archer. Oh, but wait. Team Taz seems scared. I was like, "What are you doing, old man?" And Jake Roberts was like, "We brought back up." In his own way. Of course, I'm not going to say he's going to say verbatim. And then you hear the wind through the speakers. D-Dub got it. D-Dub got it. Cody's next opponent? What about the king? Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, hello, Cody. I hear you say you're the best.
Yeah, some of you are listening to this and smiling ear to ear at that prospect. And of course, he's the never openweight champion, but who cares? Or Kenta is owed. He's won a tournament to be the challenger for the U.S. IWGP
United States Championship.
Thank you. And guess who's holding that belt currently? Or Mox over there.
The Death Rider.
Look, all I'm going to say is there's a lot of possibilities over that one thing. And we're obviously fantasy booking ourselves to make her for disappointment. But, at this point, card's so damn good that I won't be too hard up if it's someone that we don't expect anyway. That being said, watch the pay-per-view, fight app, pay-per-view, all that good stuff. T-Dub, how about some winners, ends, or some losers? Let's start with that loser category, of course.
I'm going to get my loser to the build for the Women's Division Championship match at AEW Full Gear. Could have been tons better if it was given more time on the air.
Instead of the 9:30 slot that is contractually obligated. And at this point, it may as well be that. It's the token women's match. It shouldn't be that. It's 2020? No. But for me, WWE. Until they stop fucking up, WWE.
Oh, so they've replaced TNA from back in the day for you.
You know what? It's weird to say, but in 2020, yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Congrats, Junior. You're an eternal loser.
Smiling ear to ear here. JC in the chat, loser, retribution. Well, that goes without saying. Why do you think I'm just putting WWE in there? Why is WWE a loser? Name a reason.
That's just like a Chris Jericho list long thing.
This is literally 1,004 reasons WWE is a loser. There you go. And 2 of them are armbar. Ha! Winners, T-Dub, winners. Let's do that.
The build to the world title match. They took what was essentially going to be a glorified rematch and turned it into what is easily the most interesting match on the card, possibly.
The crazy part is, this was a substitution. This was not supposed to happen literally 2 months ago. And yet here we are.
Even crazier. 6 months ago, Eddie Kingston was thinking about giving up the whole wrestling career thing, and now he's headlining a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad they took it on, because this whole program, it's so good. It's so good!
It is. It's definitely got promo of the year. The match, whatever this match is, hopefully it's well enough, but it could clinch feud of the year. Easily. Winners, for me, smiling Kylie Ray. Leaving something that you love is difficult, but when you don't love it as much, it only makes sense. Best of luck to you. Miro versus Trent on Dynamite. That was a whopper great match. Miro's first one-on-one on AEW. I think it's worth a watch. Speaking of worth a watch, you know what I watched there, T-Dub? Walter versus Ilya Dragunov.
You shouldn't have been raving about that match, telling us how amazing it is.
I watched it. Hype. Real. Look. If you folks want a classic Walter match, as in chops bleed, this is probably the closest approximation to that match you're gonna get.
As in, we get to see the true ring general.
Yeah. Hype, real. That's all else I'm gonna say, which is why it's on the winners list. And finally, fighting back, they were supposed to have a wrestling show, but obviously it didn't. So they just said, let's do a series of fundraisers. Cheetah, off the top of your head, how much money do you think they would have risen?
Well, considering all the money raised by New Legacy Inc. for them, along with many other resources, I'm sure, I'm thinking maybe around, maybe 100,000?
You overshot it by just a little bit. The actual full total, official, signed, sealed, delivered, here's the check, we're going to give it to you, $80,605 to the Canadian Cancer Society.
That's really excellent.
That's awesome, by the way. Like, I'm telling T-Dub they overshot it, but he was optimistic. And you know what? If they had maybe a couple more weeks to get it, they probably would have reached it. I'm sure they probably would have been close to reaching it.
The New Legacy themselves raised, I think, over $50,000.
Yeah. So,
and like, Johnny was going crazy during that stream.
Yeah, he was. He legit was. But yeah, absolute winner of that. And this is without a wrestling show. So, yeah. Next year, high fucking bar. I hope to be there ringside if it is possible, of course. That being said, T-Dub, you mentioned you were working on a new video. Obviously, the new Yakuza game.
That's going to be my next new video after I work on this one. This weekend I'm going to be busy because I have a video review to record, not a review, but I have a video to edit. I've already recorded. I need to edit that video as well as record and edit more parts of my Let's Play. Goddamn, I'm going to be busy all weekend.
Yeah, so if you want to see his next video up a little earlier than usual, before it goes official on YouTube, TWK's Patreon, patreon.com/TWK reviews. You could, of course, donate to my PayPal tip jar, paypal.me/Matty Jay 316. Donations are optional, but always appreciated, of course. You can follow us on Twitter at Matty Jay 316 and at TWK official. Folks, that's it. Next week, a little bit of a note. Next week, we are still doing all AEW's the review to AEW, but this will be a more this will be a hard out at 9:55 because we are not getting in the way of Talkin' Shop-A-Mania 2. But at 9 p.m., we got the Full Gear review. We're still doing a show. We're still going to try to be live. And as soon as we're done, we're watching Talkin' Shop-A-Mania because if it's anything like the last show, expect laughter and beer farts. Probably a beer fart in there. But that will do it for this week, folks. We do thank you very much for tuning in and all that good stuff. On behalf of my good buddy TWK.
Until next time, this is TWK of TWK Reviews telling you to work your gimmick.
My name is Matty Jay. Remind you to help professional wrestling. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. Independent Wrestling TV. Good way to do it. Just saying. Have a good one. Have a safe one. I will be going over to the Crystal Company. They're not live yet, but they're doing their regular rando race. Twitch.tv/The Crystal Company. I'll be there with beverage in hand. Until then, have a good one. Have a safe one. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Willow's bell connects, and now Ciampa transitions right into the fairy tale ending center of the ring.
Beautiful barrage of offense.
Cover and dream over.
And nothing of value was lost.